Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the next session on the topic theoretical distribution under the subtopic binomial distribution, and it is presented by Shantala Kulkarni, Department of Statistics, Gokti PU College of Commerce and Science. Yeah. Before I start with the subheading recurrence relation, I have to explain about recurrence relation and all that. But before that, I want to solve some few examples and then I will come to the main thing, that is recurrence relation. We are going to solve, this is a 5-mark question on binomial distribution. What is the first question? An unbiased coin is tossed 5 times. Find the probability that the tosses results in heads only. Then the second point is 3 heads and 2 tails. And the third one is 4 or more heads. Now, what we have to find the probability that the tosses are resulting in heads. And as I have already told you all, heads represents success and tail represents failure. So for the second point, what they have told here, you only have to find 3 heads. You can just ignore 2 tails, no need to find that. So let us see what are the things we need to do. First, x is the number of heads obtained when an unbiased coin is tossed 5 times. Then x is a binomial variate with parameter n is equal to 5 and p is equal to 1 upon 2. Now unbiased coin means what? Unbiased means it is a fair, it is not being partial. Head also has got equal chance, tail also has got equal chance. So that is the reason when the word comes unbiased, we take the value of p is equal to 0.5 or 1 upon 2. And here the value of n is 5. N is equal to 5 times. We will see here how do we solve an example. Then we write the probability mass function. This is the probability mass function. First, as I have already told you all, if you are going to solve examples on theoretical distributions, you are going to follow certain rules and certain conditions. So if you are going to solve an example on binomial distribution, you are going to write the probability mass function of binomial distribution. So this is the probability mass function of binomial distribution. NCx, p to the power of x, q to the power of n minus x, where x takes the value 0, 1, 2, so on till n. So once you write the probability mass function, you are going to write or substitute the values of n. What is the value of n? N is equal to 5 and p is equal to 1 upon 2. Why p is equal to 1 upon 2? Because it is an unbiased coin. Please remember, when the word comes fair, unbiased, always the value is understood of p to be 0.5. Now in the probability mass function, we will substitute. You are going to substitute the value of nc, that is n is 5 and x we are going to find out. P is 1 upon 2 to the power of x. Then q is also, how do you get the value of q? 1 minus p. That is 1 minus 1 half is nothing but half. So the value of q also is 1 upon 2 and the value of p is also 1 upon 2. Then you have substituted this ncx value here, that is 5cx. Then what do we write here? X, 5cx, here they have c. When the bases are same, then the exponents, minus minus gets cancelled. It's 1 upon 2 to the power of 5. So you just substitute here and this is the question. X is this is the solution. Now the first one, this is how the probability mass function is going to be. First question what they have asked, p heads only. When they say heads only, how many coins you have tossed? You have tossed 5 coins. Okay. So the value of n is 5. The value of x will also be 5 because the maximum value x is going to take will be 5. So here wherever x value is there, you will be substituting 5cx, 1 to the power of 1 upon 2, half to the power of 5. When you simplify, you get the answer 1 upon 32. Now finding these values, see they are actually the binomial coefficients. In the textbook, in the last page, you have solutions, ready-made solutions for the binomial coefficients. If you just see the chart or if you just see that table, 5 and particular value, you will get the answer. But I will also show you how to solve this 5C5. This 5C5 is nothing but in the form of the combination NCR. And what is this expansion of NCR? N factorial divided by N minus R factorial into R factorial. The value of R is 5 here. The value of N is 5 here. Factorial means you are going to write the factorials. That is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Clear? 5 minus 5 will be 0 factorial, and the value of 0 factorial is always equal to 1. And this into R factorial is also 5. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this whole thing gets cancelled and the answer is 1. The answer is 1. And that is what is written here. When you simplify this 5C5, it becomes is equal to, this is 1, and this 1 upon 2 you are going to multiply 5 times. That is 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2. That is nothing but 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, 16 2s are 32. This is the answer here. Clear? Now next probability question. What they have asked, 3 heads and 2 tails. See, we are giving preference here to heads, so tail becomes minimized. So we are only giving preference to the heads. So here the value of x will be equal to 3. In the probability mass function, n is equal to 5. So NCX here 5C3, 1 upon 2 to the power of 5. And that when you simplify, now let me simplify and show you all what is 5C3. How 5C3 is calculated. 5C3, you write it in this form, 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial. The 5 factorial is what? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial. 2 factorial means you will be writing only 2 factors, 2 into 1. Then 3 into 2, 3 factorial means 3 into 2 into 1. What all gets cancelled? So 5 into 2 is 10. So 5C3 answer, the answer of 5C3 will be equal to 10. This is one way of calculating, or if you do not want to calculate, the best thing is in the textbook you have a page exclusively for binomial coefficients. Next time I will add that in my PPT and show you all how the binomial coefficients are. You can directly find those values. So the second probability is 3 heads and 2 tails. You substitute the value, and this again 1 upon 2 into to the power of 5 is 1 upon 32 into 10 is the answer is 10 upon 32. Now next one. The third probability is probability 4 or more heads. 4 or more means 4 and more than 4. So the here highest value n is taking is 5. So you will be calculating for 2 different probability values. One is when x is equal to 4 and the next when x is equal to 5. Got it? So 2 times 4 or more. Then you substitute here 5C4 1 upon 2 to the power of 5 plus 5C5 1 upon 2 to the power of 5. Then what is 5C4? Binomial coefficients. I will show it here only. 5C4 is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 divided by 5 minus 4 is 1 factorial. Then 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This gets cancelled. Only 5 remains. So 5 again, this is 5 into 1 upon 32 is 5 upon 32. 5C5 is 1. This is 1 upon 32. So 5 upon 32 plus 1 upon 32 is nothing but 6 upon 32. So this is an example where, what is the question? An unbiased coin is tossed 5 times. Find the probability that the tosses results in heads only. second is 3 heads and 2 tails, and the third is 4 or more heads. I hope it is understood to you all. Let us solve one more example to make it more easier. Now see, we will see. The probability that a bomb hits a target is 1 upon 2. Now here the value of probability is given, that is the value of P is given. In the previous example, it was an unbiased coin. Unbiased coin means the value of P will also be same, the value of Q will also be same. But in this particular example, the probability that a bomb hits a target is 1 upon 2. 4 bombs are aimed at a bridge. How many bombs are given to you all? 4 bombs are given. In that it is aimed at a bridge. Among the 4, 3 bombs are enough to destroy the bridge. How many bombs are enough? 3 bombs are enough to destroy the bridge. Now what you are going to find? You have to find the probability. You have to find the probability that the bridge is destroyed. Second, none of the bombs hit the bridge. See the example. First, children, you understand the example. It's very, very practical. If you understand the things, how many, see, when you are going to the probability that a bomb hits a target, means out of 2 chances, 1 chance is enough. That is a probability value. So with such a situation, how many bombs are allotted to you all? 4 bombs are given to you all to aim at the bridge. Among 4, 3 bombs are enough to destroy the bridge. This is the second part. Now with this much data, you are going to find the probability that the bridge is destroyed. Bridge is destroyed means the value of x is going to be 3 here. None of the bombs hit the bridge means the value of x is going to be 0. Let me explain it to you all in a more simpler way. How do we write the solution here? X represents number of bombs hit the bridge when 4 bombs are aimed at the bridge. Then x is a binomial variate which has parameter n is equal to 4 and p is 1 upon 2. Then the probability mass function, the first and foremost step is always to write the probability mass function. You have to write the probability mass. This is the first step. Whether you solve Bernoulli distribution, whether you solve binomial distribution, Poisson, any distribution, the first and foremost step is to write the probability mass function. The probability mass function is written. Then in that probability mass function, you are going to substitute the value of n which is given to you all, that is 4, and also the value of p and q which is given to you all. P is equal to 1 upon 2, automatically q will be 1 minus p, that is 1 minus 1 upon 2 is nothing but half, that is 1 upon 2. Only the different values of x's will change with different probabilities. So it is substituted here. 4cx 1 upon 2. See, when you simplify here, 1 upon 2 to the power of 4 is given here. Then the x value maximum, minimum 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 it will take. Now what is the first condition? What is the first probability you have to find? First, the bridge is destroyed. Bridge is destroyed means, see now, 3 bombs are enough to destroy the bridge. Up to 3 bombs the bridge will get destroyed, and even the 4th bomb may destroy it. So the value here in probability x will take is 3 and x will also take 4. So for that, 4c3 1 upon 2 to the power of 4, 4c4 1 upon 2 to the power of 4, you are going to simplify. As I already told you, binomial coefficient is available in the textbook. In the last page, you are going to substitute, and 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2, 2 into 2, 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16 is given here, and this 4 into multiplied, you get 4 upon 16. 4c4 is 1, this value is 4. And again this is 1 upon 16. So 4 upon 16 plus 1 upon 16 is nothing but 5 upon 16. You can write this answer in the simple fraction form, or you can also write it in the decimal form. Whichever is convenient, you can write it. Now the second probability here is none of the bomb hits the bridge. None of the bombs hit the bridge means the value here x will take is 0. It will take it 0. So in the probability mass function, wherever x is there, you want to put the value 0. So this is going to be 4c0 1 upon 2 to the power of 4. When you simplify, 4c0 is nothing but 1 into this. When you simplify, you get the answer 1 upon 16. This is the second example. Let us come to the third example now. The third example, In a college, 60% of the students are boys. How many percent? 60%. Means out of 100, 60 are boys. Then what are we doing? We are taking a random sample. In a random sample of 3 students, how many students we have taken? 3 students we have taken. And with that 3 students, you have to find the probability of getting 2 boys. Second point is at least 1 boy. I hope you all understood the question. Now let us see. The first step is to write everything systematically. Here we are going to find the probability of 2 boys. In a college, boys and girls will also be there. But now, right now in this particular example, we are giving preference to boys. So the value of P is boy. So here X is the number of boys in a random sample of 3 students. Then X follows binomial distribution with parameter N is 3 and the value of P is 0.6. P is equal to 60%, means 60 divided by 100. This is nothing but 0.6. This value is here. This is the value here. Got it? Now let us see. Again, as usual, the first step, you are going to write the probability mass function. After writing the probability mass function, you are going to substitute the value of n. Then everything, see. Now the value of, in this particular example, P is equal to 0.6. Q will be 1 minus P. 1 minus 0.6 is 0.4. It's here. Q is 0.4. P is 0.6. See, we are only substituting these values. It is very easy, very simple to solve. Know the logic, that's all. The first probability, 2 boys. 2 boys means a simple X is will be the value will be 2. So wherever X is here now, you are going to substitute this value. So 3C2, see I have substituted 0.6 to the power of 0.6 to the power of 2, then 0.4 to the power of 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. So this, when you simplify the binomial coefficient, you get this 0.6 into 0.6 is 0.36. Then 3 minus 2, the exponent is going to be 1, so 0.1. Multiply all this, you get the final answer. Next one. At least 1 boy. At least 1 boy means what the value is going to take here? The value X will take. See, when 2 boys, 3 boys, 4 boys means the value of here X is exact. But when it says at least, more, less than, at most, then it becomes an inequality. So here X is more than, or this is 1. And how do you write this? Actually 1 minus probability X less than 0. So this is X less than 1. X less than 1 is nothing but 1 minus probability X is equal to 0. This is what it is given here. At least 1 boy means minimum it will start from 1. You can also write this, how this will be, you know, the probability. See how it will take the values, you know, at least 1 boy means, see, 1 plus 2 plus 3. If you calculate in this fashion also, you will get the same answer. And when you subtract that what is not there, that is 1 minus P X is equal to 0, you get the same answer. So you are going to substitute where this is X is equal to 0 in this probability mass function. 3C0, 0.6 to the power of 0, 0.4 to the power of 3 minus 0. Remember students, anything to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. Anything to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. Even if 1000 to the power of 0, its value will always be equal to 1. Its value will always be equal to 1. And 0 factorial will also be equal to 1. Please keep this in your mind. So 3C0 is equal to 1. That is also 1, and 0.6 to the power of 0, that is also 1. You are only going to simplify this particular thing, that is 0.4 into 0.4 into 0.4. You are going to multiply 3 times, and this is the answer you get here. So 1, when you simplify this whole term, you get this much, and the final answer is 0.936. So we have done these 3 examples on binomial distribution. Now I am going to explain it to you all, the the recurrence relation, where this recurrence relation is used and why we are using it. See now, for an example, x and f 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 3. This is an example. What is this? You have the x values and you have the frequency values. This is a simple observed frequency distribution. Now to this particular distribution, they will ask you to find fit binomial distribution. They will ask you to fit binomial distribution. So when you have to fit a binomial distribution, you are going to follow the rules of binomial distribution. When you are going to find expected frequencies or the next frequencies, or you are going to find the next probability frequencies, probability terms, that time you will be using the formula. So the recurrence relation between successive binomial probability terms is Px is equal to n minus x plus 1 upon x into P upon Q into Px minus 1. If you have to find the probability term, you will be using this. And if you have to find the binomial successive binomial frequency terms, you will be using same. It is, instead of P here you are writing Tx, rest of these two terms everything is same. Here instead of P you are writing as T, where Tx is the frequency of x successes. Then fitting a binomial distribution. See, I am just explaining to you all. You will understand it better when we actually start solving examples on the same. Fitting a binomial distribution means, that's what I told you all. For a simple x and f, you are going to apply the rules of binomial distribution and find the frequency, theoretical frequencies applying binomial probability recurrence relation or probability mass function. N and P are two parameters of a binomial distribution. The values of n and P determine the distribution completely. To fit a binomial distribution, the values of n and P are found. Then the theoretical probabilities and corresponding theoretical frequencies are obtained. You just pay attention to it. How it is and all, what is done, it will be explained clearly to you all. Just check the steps here. Steps in fitting a binomial distribution. First step is to calculate the mean of the given frequency distribution by using the formula x bar is equal to summation fx upon n, where x is the observed values, f is the frequency and n is the total frequency. N is the total frequency here. Okay. Second, equate the observed mean to the theoretical mean of the binomial distribution. X is equal to np, therefore p, how do you find? X bar upon n. You just see these steps, you will understand it thoroughly once we solve an example on the same. The third point is find probability. The first zero term you are going to find here. Then the fourth point is, first you will find the theoretical, after finding the probability term, you will be finding the first theoretical frequency by using this formula. Then the remaining ones you will be using this particular formula. Yes, which I have already written. Then the sixth point, write both observed theoretical frequencies in a table so that the comparison can be made easily. So this is about this. And here in Pascal's triangle, what does the Pascal's triangle say? That even after applying binomial distribution to a simple example, and when you total up or when you sum up all those theoretical frequencies, its total will always be the same. You are going to total it in such a way that the observed frequency as well as the theoretical frequency will always be same. So in today's class, the first thing is you all solved 5 mark examples, and I briefly explained about the recurrence relation and how to fit a binomial distribution. You will understand it thoroughly once when we actually start solving the examples. Hope these examples are much clear to you all. With this I end my class. Thank you.